yes, the one that I couldn't wait to talk about. Finally, I get to spotlight the movie instead of just reenacting it with my On Her Majesty's Secret Service action figures. After 1967's You Only Live Twice was a success at the box office, but had a mixed reaction for being a little too more of the same, this one comes in like a vengeance and gave us a real spy epic that's part adventure, part major character development, and even the first real love story of the series. As Bond falls for Contessa Teresa Di Vincenzo, then does an undercover operation in the Swiss Alps to stop Blofeld's plan for germ warfare via his brainwashed Angels of Death. This was based on the 10th novel of the series, as Ian Fleming's book came out in 1963 and was being written while the movie version of Dr. No was in production. Eon had wanted to make this adaptation sooner than they did. Originally, it was going to be the Bond movie after Goldfinger, but they shifted to Thunderball once they finally got the rights to adapt that. Then it was going to be after Thunderball, but was postponed due to there not being enough snow coverage during the Swiss winter season. Problems came in again when Connery had temporarily retired from the series after fights with the producers and them not wanting to match his fee, so a search went out for who would be the next James Bond. There was a lot of interest in Terence Stamp and Oliver Reed, but they did try for some other future Bonds like Roger Moore, but he had signed up to do another season of The Saint, and Timothy Dalton was asked too, though he felt he was too young for the role at the time. After impressing the producers by showing up to his audition with a hair and clothing style similar to Connery, plus his impressive fight skills, the part went to newcomer George Lazenby, making this his first film after he had worked as a car salesman and also a model, and starred in a series of Big Fry commercials. It would be Lazenby's only Bond film, and was also the only Bond movie to be directed by Peter Hunt, who had served as second unit director and editor on some of the previous movies. With a new actor in tow, it was their opportunity to really give this a different feel than the last entry, as the goal was to give it a tone more like From Russia with Love, instead of the gadget-focused entries like You Only Live Twice. And they also made it way more faithful to the source material, as Richard Maybaum's script was so close to the book that the director always carried a copy of the book with him on set. Like some of the other Bonds, the reaction at the time was mixed, but not only did this have a reputation that improved over the years, but became regarded as one of, if not the best of the series, even inspiring future filmmakers like Christopher Nolan and Steven Soderbergh, and played a huge role in the tone for No Time to Die. We don't even see Q Branch in this one. Instead, it opens with him visiting M directly in his office.
Computer analysis reveals an entirely new approach. Miniaturization. For instance, radioactive lint.
Yes, you're telling me this is how I can find out if my wife is having an affair. They do a good job of introducing Bond here, starting with shots of the car, filming him mysteriously from behind, but we know he's Bond. He can still light a cigarette all badass while driving 100 miles an hour and setting his sights on the hottest person on the road. We'll see if this pans out better than when he rode alongside Tilly Masterson. Though it may be a slight red flag to scope Tracy out with your sniper lens, Bond, no, what are you doing? Save that for the end of the film. She seems like she might be a hotbed of mental issues, but whatever, that's Diana Rigg. I'll take my chances. Diana Rigg got the role after filmmakers originally wanted Brigitte Bardot, but they passed on her when she was just in Shalaka with Connery. And Diana Rigg is perfect here, along with their meet cute.
Good morning. My name's Bond. James Bond.
It's a hell of an entrance for him, and a cue for henchmen to try starting some shit. God damn it, I've only been Bond for 30 seconds and I'm already being cock-blocked. Can he fight, though? Jesus Christ! Right away, he's a Bond who can ferociously kick your ass. I love that at first glance, he's a smooth gentleman, and then seamlessly he'll drown you in an inch of water and toss your ass. The opening shows his suave nature, his fighting skills, and sense of humor.
This never happened to the other fella.
Well, that is until Zardoz came out. A great break the fourth wall moment that came from an ad-lib from George when they were on set, but they still didn't want it to come across like he was just another agent called Bond. So the movie does a lot to show that it is the same guy, right down to the opening that includes footage from the previous films, but the real star is the iconic John Barry theme. This is my favorite of the Bond themes, one of the boldest at this point, where Barry combines electric guitars and synthesizers, and without the use of lyrics, figuring that working the title into the song would have made it sound awkward. So instead, the mood of the piece evokes action and impending tragedy to create something really grand to signify a new era for the series and tone. Contemporary critics criticize Lazenby for being in over his head or not confident in the role, and I never got that vibe from him. For a dude who this is his first major acting role and with huge shoes to fill, and considering he didn't get much communication from the director on set, I never would have guessed this was his first big role. He still walks into a room with swagger like he owns it. He's still got confidence, he's just a different kind of cool than Connery. Connery played the part with a perfectly sinister and larger-than-life vibe, while Lazenby looks like the kind of cool where he'd fit right in at a card table with the Rat Pack. He does give the character the right cockiness at the beginning that's going to provide a real arc for where the character goes later, like when he bails Tracy out at the table.
Forgive me. My mind was elsewhere. Madame had forgotten we agreed to be partners this evening.
I am so in. I'll catch up with you later, Le Chiffre. Their chemistry is good, where it's like he just wants to hook up with this woman who he keeps saving, not knowing he might fall in love with her, and he'll kick more ass to do it. While this would be his only Bond, he'd show off more of his action abilities in martial arts movies in the 70s, and the henchmen are like, God damn, this Bond is brutal! His fighting goes big, as well as the largest portion of caviar I've seen in a single serving. I believe it when she shows up with a gun and he thinks, we're still hitting it off, right? He's unpredictable. You don't know if he's gonna be romantically suave or violent.
I can think of something more sociable to do.
But
I can be a lot more persuasive, Contessa.
I swear it turns into a love story. It's got a second theme song too, which is We Have All the Time in the World by Louis Armstrong, where the full song plays later in the movie, but you hear bits of it throughout, as pieces subtly come in the quieter moments, where even the henchmen want to give them a moment together. Screw it, I'm gonna go kick Johnny English's ass. You know what else never happened to the other fella? It's usually me who bails out in the morning before the other person wakes up. And hello? She either gave me my money back or I'm a gigolo now. The henchmen were polite enough to greet him in the morning. Sir, why even bring that newspaper if you're gonna reveal yourself? I do like when sometimes his Australian accent comes through.
Business or pleasure? Mystery tour, eh?
Do we have the right guy? Isn't Commander Bond supposed to be Scottish? With a lot of stuff that George has down, any criticism I'd have of him, I could see greatly improving had he done more movies. Sometimes his one-liners work, sometimes they don't. Maybe that's why they emphasize more fighting. Christ, punches causing the sound of thunder. But when he does have a one-liner that works, he nails it.
But today is the 13th, Commander.
I'm superstitious.
Yes, put Commander Bond in the Black Cat and Broken Mirror room. Here we meet Draco, crime syndicate leader, played by Gabriel Frazzetti, but his voice is dubbed by David DeKaiser, who would later be in Diamonds Are Forever. Oh, and he's also Tracy's dad. Their relationship is moving fast. Bond's already meeting the parents.
Tracy.
Yes, Tracy. Tracy.
My only child.
I assure you, I didn't strike her across the face last night. The look on his face when Draco brings up the sex is pretty natural.
I've been informed of everything you've done for my daughter.
Everything?
Don't worry about that.
We only cuddled, sir. It's getting into a screwball romance plot. Draco offers Bond £1 million to marry Tracy and keep her shenanigans under control. And to Bond's credit, he does say, are you sure she just doesn't need a psychiatrist? He also honestly says that he enjoys being a bachelor, but he succumbs when Draco can maybe give him the location of Blofeld, and if he can still flirt like crazy with Moneypenny, adding some extra swagger to that entrance.
Oh, only more so. Heartless brute.
Sorry, Moneypenny, an extra £1 million will do that to a fella. That's right, I'm a male prostitute now. The movie evolves in his relationship with MI6 too, where Bond takes it personally that he's being removed from pursuing Blofeld, so in anger he wants to resign from Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's the first one to really humanize the character, right down to, oh, so this is what his office looks like. To continue showing that it's the same guy, he pulls out his previous gadgets, has himself a drink, and reminisces fondly about shooting a guy out of a car with an ejector seat. This is a cute moment too, where Moneypenny does him a favor and simply asks for Bond to get some time off and not a resignation. Let's take a break while Bond goes to Disneyland!
Bye! Big fries are coming by. Yeah, yeah! Big fry.
Big Fry, Turkish delight.
'Cause big fries are coming by. Big fry.
We're back, and Tracy is off to audition for John Derrick's Bolero. Just kidding, no one's gonna get gored in the balls in this one. Instead, rejection.
Contessa,
Mr. Bond and I have already met.
but each time is a renewed pleasure.
My dad is right there. Go figure she isn't too keen on Dad arranging a marriage for her, despite the fact that she'll receive a lifetime supply of Big Fry chocolate. How did this man end up as head of a crime syndicate? His daughter just gave him shit and immediately talks him into telling Bond what he knows about Blofeld. Jeez, we can use her at MI6. That saves me from pulling someone's fingernails out when I question them. He'll investigate the law firm with ties to Blofeld, but first we've already got Louis Armstrong queued up. It's nice to see a more romantically vulnerable Bond when he isn't tossing pussy galore in some hay. Armstrong's tune was so good he recorded it in one take, with lyrics by Hal David and composed by Barry. It fits perfectly in showing some innocent moments of their whirlwind romance, and how awkward it makes Dad. Ah, jeez, like being caught in the middle of a couple of horny teenagers. I'm curious what it'd be like with Connery, like if it still would have had this kind of humanized writing on Bond, but I'm glad it's George, because otherwise it would risk Connery's take on Bond being a little out of place in this story. But this I could still see Connery doing, waiting for construction delivery on a safecracker and feeling the tedium of waiting for that damn thing to open, causing him to grab the nearest Playboy and have himself a look. Let's see, banged her, I think I banged her. Honey Ryder, is that you? Oh right, never mind, I'm just here for the articles. Where Blofeld has been communicating with genealogist Sir Hilary, but I can leave those papers behind. I'm taking the Playboy with me. I'll finish this crossword puzzle one way or another. And if he and Tracy purchased a new house? Careful, you just bought the house from the money pit. Oh good, it's just M who lives in this dump.
Unusually small for Nymphalis polychlorus.
I satisfy my wife once a year on her birthday, 007. So Bond's plan is to go undercover as Sir Hilary, played by George Baker. No, don't trust him! He was one of the number 2s on The Prisoner! But Bond has perfected his Sir Hilary impersonation should he meet Blofeld face to face.
They're being a bit canny about that. They want me to send a description of myself.
Tactfully adjusted to favor me.
Did I do dub work and forget? Yes, George Baker dubs Bond's Sir Hilary voice. Now it's Bond's turn, considering how many dubbed girls he's hooked up with in the past. See, he can properly take a vacation at Blofeld's Research Institute in the Swiss Alps. They're trying not to give themselves away, from obvious Spectre agent Irma Blunt to Bond, who is obviously Sherlock Holmes. It's good I'm watching this at this time of year. It also serves as a Christmas movie. Bond's gadgets here will come in the form of Santa's sleigh and a magical love bug. It's filmed at a great spot to show off the amazing cinematography, as this was shot by Michael Reed, who after his second unit work on Goldfinger, Thunderball, and You Only Live Twice, really gives us one of the best looking Bond films, clearly made to be seen in theaters. And though his Sir Hillary voice is dubbed, physically he does a good job of trying to come off as another person, with little things like pretending to be afraid of helicopter rides. The Institute is setting out to bring 12 women in for research and curing allergies under the eye of Count Balthazar Shaun. Not at all hiding the fact that the Count is Blofeld. And tell me, Irma, why do you suspiciously remind me of Rosa Klebb? And could you be a dear and fetch me my pipe bubbles? Seems legit so far. Fake crystals in the light, the couch is on fire, and hello, a 60s big screen TV. Is my puffy shirt enough to attract these ski angels? Daddy's home. So, which one of you wants to sign my Playboy magazine? I'm assuming you're all in at least one of my issues. They've been waiting for someone to turn up and get them all nerd hot.
I must say it's a treat having a man here for once.
You mean there aren't any others?
Only the staff, and you can't really count them.
We will not discuss the affairs of the clinic.
Hey, do you want me to cure their penis allergy or not? He's never been so happy to have genealogy knowledge.
It could easily be that any one of you here is related to a royal house. If only we could go back far enough to find out.
And none of us are related. Follow me, ladies. It's the most exciting Christmas dinner he's ever had, where something has cured their allergies to chicken, but they could still work on their erotic eating face. It gets to where they've divided up the tables between the girls who are tired of this foreplay and the ones who want to know more about his balls.
Please, what is bezant?
Gold balls.
I paint my balls gold every morning to honor the memory of Jill Masterson, you see. Sold, and now she can be very subtle in giving him her room number. Oh heavens, wait till she finds out my balls are actually bronze. Careful, Mr. Bond, you are suffering an injury. Due to doing some of his own stunts, Lazenby actually broke his arm during production, which they had to hide in some scenes, right down to henchmen putting his coat on for him. That's all good. There's an evil lair, so clearly he's in the right place. And bald head and no earlobes? I knew it. You're Kojak! They should know who each other are, though the book happens before the events of You Only Live Twice, with that book having to do with Bond grieving over the events of this one. In terms of the movies, Blofeld and Bond have already met by this point in the movie You Only Live Twice. They did consider adding in an explanation that the two of them had gotten plastic surgery, in Bond's case because too many people knew who he was, and in Blofeld's case so he could go into hiding. But that was nixed, so it relies on either assuming that maybe they got surgery, or just that we wouldn't think about it because it is two different actors playing the characters now. I do like that without his gadgets, Bond now has to MacGyver some shit to get out of this room. I'll piece together some kind of contraption to open the door. I know one of the Angels' room numbers. I'm not taking a trip to a ski resort without getting laid, Tracy or no Tracy. See, didn't I tell you that no one's gonna get gored in the balls in this one?
It's true!
That's right, baby. Watch as I tie it in a knot. This had to happen so he could witness Blofeld's advanced mind control techniques.
Do you remember when you first came here? How you hated chickens? I've taught you to love chickens.
I'm assuming this is just how everything was cured in 1969. It's Blofeld's amazing plan to use the girls to bring psychedelic rock to the mainstream. I like this gag where just when he thought he was gonna get some sleep, there's another waiting for him, and it even uses the same music cue from the previous time.
It is me.
Not only that, he didn't think he'd get this much action, so that line that he used before...
You are funny, pretending not to like girls.
Well, I don't usually. But You're not usual.
He's got to think on his feet, so he uses the same line again.
But I think you do not like girls, Hilly.
Usually I don't. But you're not usual.
Let's take a break. Bond's got 10 more angels to get to after this. Come see us at our last con of the year at Grand Rapids Comic Con, November 14th through the 16th. We'll be there all weekend with prints, movies, copies of my book, and more. Get your tickets at grcomiccon.com. We're back, and can anyone join Blofeld's rooftop party?
All right, but I'd still like to get to the top.
From here upwards now is forbidden! Private! Close!
Alright, geez, I'll go grab myself a burger at Berg. He's gonna miss out on all the games and innuendo.
Your stiffness of last night, it is all gone?
For the time being, I think.
Yes, my gold balls are now a shade of blue. Damn, someone wants to get a beautiful view of the mountains. Alright, send him out of here. We got a full day of teaching Sir Hillary how to curl without falling on his ass. Plus, the girls are all booked for sex anyway.
I must see you tonight.
9 o'clock? 10?
And you, 11 o'clock. Something tells me that all this interfering with their allergy wellness is gonna bite him in the ass.
Fancy meeting you, Fräulein.
Oh, thank God. Thought I made myself a very unfortunate date there. I knew it was gonna turn into a Christmas movie. He'll be visited by the ghosts of Bond girls past. Figures that Bond would get discovered because there's no way Sir Hillary would sleep with broads.
Respectable baronets from the College of Heralds do not seduce female patients in clinic.
Well, there's a first, second, and third time for everything. Telly Savalas is an extremely cool Blofeld. Donald Pleasance had the most iconic look for the character, and despite Pleasance doing a great job in his scenes, they recast here since his interpretation of Blofeld would have felt weird in the story, whereas here, I love these scenes between the two because you've got these two guys trying to out-cool each other. Sure, he's talking about a plan to render all plants and livestock infertile through his brainwashed angels of death, but he's talking about it so suave. Bond's like, is there a carton of cigarettes under that tree for me? You seem cool to drink with. Plus, he's nice enough to keep Bond alive. You'll come in handy, Mr. Bond. We need someone to escape and stop my evil plan. As for that guy, no one climbs mountains without a permit here. Sure, we could just keep him in his room under guard, but placing him in this makeshift time machine will work. That's nothing that some pockets can't get him out of. Don't complain later when you get to the airport and you lost your wallet and keys. He's also missing the girls opening their presents. Hey, we all got lingerie. Santa, how did you know? This was a difficult stunt to do. It's not Lazenby in the wide shots, it's stuntman George Leach, who dislocated his shoulder while doing it, and it had to be finished by two other stuntmen. I hope that this turns into Die Hard at a ski resort. In other words, I hope it turns into Cracker Jack. Why not? Remember, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a Christmas movie. The hell, Blofeld just put his name on my gifts to them.
You may use anything but the atomizer.
Thanks. You did save the receipt, didn't you? Just asking. With it being a small location, it's easy enough for Bond to find where the lab is. Christmas turkey looks sterilized enough for you, boss? The others are just trying to fill out their remaining Christmas cards till Bond shows up like a Grinch. We missed a chance for George to star in one of those ass-kicking Santa movies. This is one of those movies that has a spectacular climax that doesn't let up for the next 40 minutes, all starting with that Barry score kicking in. Aside from being known for its ending, it also gets a lot of praise for its spectacular ski and car chase sequences. The production still fought against a weak snowfall for the season, which pushed a lot of the Switzerland scenes 56 days past schedule, but they made it work. The music, the editing, the funny shots where you can tell it's a rear projector. It's great. There's camera work here where you feel like you're going right along with these characters, and the injuries look brutal too.
Idiot.
God, got a pine cone in my ass. There's parts where I'm like, are these injuries real and they kept them in the movie? I hope to God this isn't real though. He'll be fine. I love that they keep that shot going. Serves him right for getting the Acme rocket skates. Hell, he just tosses another off a cliff. Have a holly jolly death. As if this night couldn't possibly get worse. Oh shit, that's gonna give me a headache. Shouldn't have chosen the Jingle Bell room to hide out. One sneeze and they'd know where he is, let alone a whole fight. It's also George's relatability that works here too. When he's scared in this scene, you feel it as he genuinely looks painted into a corner with wheels spinning in his head, and he legit doesn't know what to do. We've seen Bond scared before. Connery certainly was in Goldfinger. But those are fun and very Bond-like sequences, and intense, like getting threatened with laser death, whereas here, it's incredibly human and stressful, and you feel it when the music kicks in, and he looks up at Tracy like he's just been saved by an angel.
James.
His reaction is perfect, like, wow, there is a god. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Whatever you do, Bond, don't tell your love what you did with your gold balls, or mention anything about earlobes. That puts Bond out of the mood.
You've got sharp eyes and beautiful earlobes.
He tried being an ear man for a second, but decided, nah. You don't want to let your guard down when you watch this, because even when trying to use the phone... Not gonna lie, despite all the danger afoot, this does look like a really beautiful place to spend the holiday. It gives us one of the great car chases of the 60s. The filmmakers had to improvise a location on a frozen lake, which was a little thin, so there was some danger in shooting it. They had to keep a lot of heaters around too, so the cameras wouldn't get frozen, and it was so slick that the cars got into real accidents that were in the film. Not only is Diana Rigg great at the action scenes, but the one-liners too.
We didn't even stop for the prize.
I will get you an atomizer when we get home. Now they can get a quiet moment, no distracting bells in here. On second thought, I do love earlobes. This whole thing is as gorgeously shot in the character moments as it is in the action scenes. And when he fights back tears, it's like, shit, it is believable that they're in love. And also heartbreaking when you know how it ends. After winning the ice rink rally, he's got no choice but to put a ring on it. Talk about character growth.
The proper time for this is our wedding night. And that's my New Year's resolution.
Never thought I'd hear Bond say that.
It's not New Year yet.
Ah, there we go. At the end of the day, he is still James Bond. Now they can have a couple's first ski chase together, where the crew had cameramen dangling from helicopters to film it. If you thought Bond's fighting style was brutal, this has one of the more gruesome deaths in the series to date, like it briefly turns into a canon movie.
He had lots of guts.
Gross, James! The action is so huge, they cause an avalanche. Under the permission of the Swiss government, they triggered a real avalanche and combined it with the use of stock footage and miniatures, where it was so big they actually lost a lot of cameras and footage while filming it, and were able to use some of it from damaged film stock. Just as long as she survives so they can have a hostage in the final act. And we get to see them all pissed off when they want to just pay off Blofeld.
I have my orders, 007. You have yours. Forget it.
And the girl who helped me escape, we just leave her there.
Hey, they have a nice tree. Let's take another break. They've also got some sherry and hot buttered rum.
And we're going to mount this 5-inch color TV in your car along with this Betamax deck for playback.
Remarkable. Are they,
Yes. They're Sony also.
Excuse me, sir, but did you just walk into a store and buy these?
Well, yes.
Well, keep up the good work, sir.
Welcome back. Things seem to be going better between Blofeld and Tracy.
I've been thinking about your proposition. Please, tell me more.
That's right, I'm Telly Savalas. I am that cool. It's a rule to smoke like a badass in the elevators in this institution, until, of course, their bottle of Pepsi Holiday Spice is ruined. Great, here comes another avalanche. She doesn't seem like she needs to be rescued. Emma Peel has got this. It's even in this fight that the Bond theme kicks in. Tracy, thank God I saved you, and I finally learned how to play these ice games. Speaking of canon movie moments, someone's gotta get killed with a blowtorch. We've done car chases on ice, ski chases, avalanches, stern parenting. What could possibly be next? Damn right, bobsledding, where they shot on a real bobsled track and had Olympian bobsledders doing the scene. Where speeds got so fast that there were injuries when filming. Lazenby did some of his own stunts too, like when he clings onto the bobsled and later quipped that, yeah, I didn't have to act scared on that one. I'm surprised Blofeld didn't really get his neck caught in a tree.
He's branched off.
Thanks for the 80-yard line, James! It's official. Not only is this the best Bond movie, but also the best Beethoven movie. Damn, I wish he did more than one. It would have been such a great revenge movie if he starred in the one after this. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is mistakenly referred to as a flop sometimes, but it wasn't. The box office was down from the previous, but it still made back multiple times its budget and was one of the top worldwide earners of the year. They still wanted to sign George up for more films after this, but due to some famously bad advice he got, he was told that Bond would be a thing of the past and that movies like Easy Rider were the wave of the future. He'd also gotten into the counterculture movement a bit and pissed off producers when he showed up at the premiere in long hair and a beard. His next movie, Universal Soldier, was in 1971 and was an Easy Rider-like film about gun runners. He would come back to the Bond role sometimes, though, like playing an unnamed Bond in The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. and an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents called Diamonds Aren't Forever. If you're gonna only do one, though, he picked the best and most unique one. It's tremendously exciting, a real spy epic, it's funny, romantic, and famously tragic.
Blofeld.
Shit, this scene gets me every time, and George nails it. They'd rehearsed it so much to really give him a worn-out feel, and his sadness comes through. It's the best ending of the series, and his famous line of "we have all the time in the world" would continue to be referenced for decades after. I still tear up over it, especially with the music and this final shot. This part's a little iffy, though. I don't know if the happy music needed to kick in, though it does amp you up to see him want to come back for revenge, but using Louis Armstrong instead would have worked too. Now that I'm done talking about one of my favorite movies, I can go back to reenacting bobsled chases with my toys. My son will get a chance to play with these once I'm done.
Is anything the matter?
Just a slight stiffness coming on.